Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Brandon here, just getting things started. Hope you guys are doing well, and going to get a guest in here soon. But just wanted to thank everyone for listening along. If you've been tuning in live on Wednesdays, I appreciate you. It's 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, and if you are showing up, make sure to say hi right when you start watching, so I know that you are viewing. Hopefully, you can stick around and listen or type in hashtag replay if you have not watched it live, but you still catch up on it later. I definitely appreciate it when you guys tune in a little bit later and after the fact. So, uh, always great to have you guys with me, and I appreciate just you guys watching and being a part of this every time. So, this week, we're going to talk a little bit about the promotion that I got going on. I'm trying to get June coaching signups. We got 10 spots for June. And hey, Sam, what's up? I see you. I'm going to bring you in a minute. Thanks for joining. And but we have June coaching, which it starts in June. But if you sign up before this Sunday, that's I think 4 days we have left. Uh, you have some extra bonuses that come with the coaching. So the first way you can work with me is either you can work with me for a half day, 4 hours. It's called a VIP day, where we sit and talk through one of your main focus areas. We pick a main topic for you in marketing and figure out how to solve that. Or we can work together over 6 weeks if you're the type of person that needs accountability and you want to cover a broader theme of things for your business and marketing that you need. We can do that together. Again, this is one-on-one coaching. This may be the only month that I get to do that. I will, as the requests come in, start to move things towards group coaching. But while you have me and while things are just getting started, it'll be one-on-one coaching. So this is the time to sign up for that. And if you apply by, anyone that applies before Sunday gets a pre-approved access and a free 3 months in the mastermind group that I'm starting in July. And that'll include group conference calls with guests that I bring in to answer your questions about marketing. It'll include accountability within your team and exclusive content for me. So appreciate that. Hey, what's up, John? John Russell says, take advantage. You got to do it. But I appreciate you guys. And obviously, if it's not working for you, I'll give you your money back. This is the kind of thing that I want you to feel comfortable with. I'm not worried about it because I know that because it's me working with you one-on-one, I'm going to give you everything to make sure that this succeeds for you. And if that means extra time and extra accountability, I'll make it work. This is, the kind of thing that is going to be probably the most value I can give anybody. So hopefully I can help you, and you're at a place where you need to build something. You need to build your brand platform. You need to build better communication structure for how you're talking to customers. And that's why I'm here. So, let's get started with the rest of the show, and I'll go ahead and see if I can get Sam on here. Sam, you want to go ahead and request again, and I'll try to bring you on. It looks like that dropped off, so you might have to push that button one more time to get it going. And then while we're waiting for that, the next thing going on is I'll talk at the end of this. I'll talk a little bit about the conference that I was just at, which is about for-purpose businesses. And I think that it's an exciting thing to do, to figure out how you can start a business that not only obviously makes money, but also makes an impact in the world. And there are ways to do that that actually benefit your business and benefit society. And I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. I was just at a conference called Thrive, and it just, I think, really made an impact on me. And I think it's a message we could all learn from. So more to come in there. And we're bringing Sam in right now. I have a lot of friends in this community. I have a lot of strangers in this community. And hey, what's up, Sam?
Hey, Brandon.
Sit down for a sec. But I was just prefacing this. So this community is great. It's like I got 50 people right now, and it's a mix in our brand growth community of people that I've either are family, people that are friends, people that I've worked with, entrepreneurs that have found me through content. It's a mix of people, people that I've been in mastermind groups with and networking groups with. And Sam is my brother-in-law. So we have family as well. Sam is also an entrepreneur. But thanks for jumping in today, brother.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Brandon.
Yeah,
I'm
we were
excited to be here.
we were worried that Sam may not be able to figure out the technology
It
today.
was it was a stretch.
Like no one is used to doing Facebook Live. It's not something that is like in the normal person's day to day. So
No.
pretty much every guest I bring on, there's a little bit of fear at the beginning of, do I know what button to push? So I appreciate you bearing with me on that.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell a little bit about what you do in your business to the people that end up watching this in the group?
All right. Well, I teach guitar lessons. I go home to home and I bring my guitar and I bring my personality and we strum songs and we have a great time. And that's pretty much where, well, actually, that's not actually fair. I also compose music from time to time for television and film. That's the gravy. It's not the main gig. Other than that, maybe I sing at a children's space a couple times a week. I sing at an old age home one time a week. What else do I do? I'm a musician, so it's like basically I'm consistently hunting for my meals, and I eat what I kill. So that's basically what I've been doing for the last 15 to 20 years.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how did you get into all that? Like, why music? It's not the easiest path, like, to stay
No,
in.
well, it was easier than becoming a professional baseball player, which was the first path I was on. So basically, I played music. I wanted to be a rock star. It was my backup plan to being a professional baseball player, which wasn't in the cards. And and while I was figuring that out, I was working at an elementary school as an assistant teacher, and then parents just liked me and they found out I played guitar and they said, "Hey, can you teach my kid guitar?" And basically I've been working like that, just word of mouth for the last 15 to 20 years. And actually, to be honest, I never really thought too much about it. I just kind of accepted that as my career and I've really enjoyed it. But this wacky thing called the internet showed up, and there's more and more people that I see who are making a living at it online, and so it's something that has definitely interests me as well.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I was asking because I was curious, like, obviously music is a passion and for a lot of people, and it's one of those industries that tends to weed people out. Like, you're like, I guess I'm now going to go back to bartending or whatever the thing
Right,
is.
yeah, totally.
So you've actually managed to make a business out of it.
It's a miracle, and I don't take it for granted. I mean, it's amazing. There are far more talented humans than I am that are waiting tables and making your lattes every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually had a question come in from John. My buddy John here says, if you could have one referral source all year, who would it be?
One referral source.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. One referral source.
He says farming versus hunting, or he says
I
farming is greater than hunting. So I think we can see what he means by that. But
I think
yeah.
I'm confused as to what he means as well. Like, basically, my referral sources are like this. Only one. It's, I'd say Susanna Hoff. I mean, to be honest, like, Susanna Hoff's the singer of the Bengals, and I taught her kids for a couple of years, and she spread my name far and wide. So I guess my referral source would be, especially because I teach per hour, and I teach on the west side of LA, and so my hourly rate isn't super cheap. So it's for me, it's really I've been very fortunate to have people who have the income to afford guitar lessons and continually refer me, like a parent who's well connected.
Right.
I don't know if that answers.
No, that makes
actually.
sense. It makes sense. It's like when you have to look for those circles of influence, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's either a person or it's a group, like a mommy group, or it's a neighborhood local thing like you are. It is a local business for you right now. It doesn't have to stay like that, but that's
forever. That's
where you're
yeah.
And I'm getting, it's also a massive word of mouth business, you know, referrals and recommendations and that whole thing.
Yeah. And I'm really, I want to branch out, which we've spoken about, and I'm really hungry to do so. I don't want to give it all away for free. I mean, this is how I've been making my living, but I feel like I can't, in a sense, I can't give away. It's a different thing. Playing online versus playing with somebody is a completely different thing. Like, you're learning stuff online, but when you're playing live, you know, we're singing songs together and we're riffing off of each other and we're playing with each other. So it's a different thing. It's just I'm a I've been in the Stone Age for a long time, and I'm ready to. I'm not a Luddite. I'm not scared of technology. I'm ready to join the 21st century.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And we were talking the other night, and you said you actually have been, you take other people's courses too. Like it's something that you've actually started to subscribe and look at other content online. So it's
Yeah.
people are doing it.
I've always taken lessons
Yeah.
over the last 20 years. Like, there'll be a year or two that I take off lessons, but if I'm not taking harmonica lessons or piano lessons, I'm taking guitar lessons. Like, I'm consistently looking for people who do things that are different than me and find out what their approaches are. It's just that in the past it wasn't as available as it is now online. So
Right.
in the past, I'd go to McCabe's guitar shop and find one of the teachers who, like, focused on finger picking or focused on blues guitar or jazz or whatever it was, and learn whatever I could from them to be a better musician, and to give me ideas as to how to teach and what to teach to my students, you know, to kind of continually feed, feed the intellect and the inspiration. But now I'm doing it online, and
Right.
and I'm super stoked about the teachers that I found online. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What what I figured I'd want to do is ask a little bit. So, like, in recent history, so the recent couple weeks or so, I want to hear a little bit about some wins and some losses, things that, like, for your business, like as a business, uh, you know, things that are either like you've picked up a couple clients or you figured some things out that might help your business.
Mm.
And then on the other end, some losses, things that are like not losses, but like challenges, things that you're trying to figure out that that are still kind of holding you back.
Okay. Well, wins and losses. Okay.
Roses and thorns, that, you know, is like
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
way to
yeah.
put it.
Yeah, I have to think about it, because lots of times my mentality is everything is a win. That's where I have to come to. The
Well, let's
big,
start with that.
okay, I'll tell you two recent losses that
Okay.
I'm not super worried about. I went to to teach this children's class, or sing to these kids, and I got to class and no one showed up.
Yeah.
So that was a big loss. Although, you know, the next time I was there, you know, we had six kids and nannies, and it was an
Yeah.
amazing class. But that kind of like was like, oh man, this thing just may not work, and 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 it's always like, it's a balancing act of, is it worth me, like, I'm not getting paid as much to do that. It's just more like fun, and it's um and I love it.
Yeah.
So
And I guess,
that
like,
was a sorry.
no, I was gonna say, I guess they call them thorns because they're like, what are the challenges that you have that are, you know, we can think about how to solve, you know? So it's like,
Okay.
what are the things that you're
Well,
running up against?
okay.
And
Well,
that seems like it could be
let's
that.
not. Yeah, and let's not do that one. I got a better thorn. That's not an important thorn. The important thorn is, um, I've made some videos and I've put them online, and to be honest, I haven't promoted them, knowing that there are ways by which I could promote them, because I'm not necessarily happy with. I don't have a focus or direction as far as the teaching that I've done. Like, I've basically just shown stuff, and I don't feel like there's a purpose behind it. And so I've been really working the last couple months trying to figure my purpose out. And so that's a that's not a within the last 2 weeks kind of loss,
Great. Yeah.
but that's what I've been processing for months, really. Just like, actually, because the community should know, I've actually sat down with you for a couple hours and discussed all this stuff with you before. And since our conversation, I've just been like milling over what are my options? What can I do? How can I better this business? And how can I be proud of what I'm creating? So the first thing is I really want to figure out, um, I have to have I even use this word with you. I saw you yesterday and I use this word. Um, uh, my curriculum. I want to have a curriculum. I don't mind veering from the curriculum, but I have to know exactly what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to share. So I feel like I'm really close to that. And then the proof it will be in the pudding, and I got to figure out how I'm going to advertise it and all that. And that's going to be new for me. I've never done that. I don't know. So sorry, I don't know if that's kind of a like it's not really a thorn, but that's, that I've been disappointed for so long as far as like what I've put out there as far as content. I'm trying to work through that and I feel like that's really on me. That one's on me. This guy has 1.5 millimeter subscribe.
1.5 million. Yeah.
No, that's not, I don't know if that's me. That's
No,
not me.
he's saying that there are people that
Yeah.
that cover songs and get a lot of followers from that. But I think the point that I like to, if I had to jump on
Yeah.
that, I think all of us, especially in a service-based business, we have to have a couple things, and it's a certain thing that we're known for, which right now is you teach certain types of lessons, but also it could be a curriculum. It could be a certain thing that people are like, Sam's the guy for that, for that thing.
Right.
This is his thing that you can promote out and say, you want to get from here to there. You want to go from, not knowing how to play, or want to learn these types of songs, like 5 of the top pop songs. Like you have to have some kind of thing that you're known for that is your foundational like thing, your product, right?
That's interesting.
Right?
That's interesting.
And it's been your classes, like it's been that, but it's like, okay, what else could it be? So you have one thing, but it's like I have a semester of guitar teaching. That's your thing. So you have to have that. From someone like me, it's going to be like besides my product, I need to have some kind of expertise. I need to have, like Mike Kim, one of these like personal brand guys, who's a leader in that space, says you have to have cornerstone content is the word that he uses. So for me, it'd be like I need to have a couple of things that I could tell people how to do. Like, here's how you build your brand on Instagram. That would be a cornerstone piece of content,
right.
In 5 steps, like whatever that is. And I can go around telling people about that. So you need to have that kind of thing. And then you also have to have a way to build your reputation, a platform. Like, what is your platform? And for this person that has subscribers, their platform was YouTube. They happened to catch the trend at the right time. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
They have to catch the trend at the right time when YouTube was blowing up and that was popular, to then be one of the, the first people that was catching covers and gets popular. Yeah. Now it's a little saturated, and it's like trying to be the next thing that goes viral. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah, it's really tough.
But instead of that being the thing that blows you up, it might be the thing that everything you build and you record and you do, like, you can put that content in, places. You can have it live on YouTube so that when people meet you, they can go find that. Or you can have it live on your website and they can go find it, which I know you do some of that. But
my website's down. I got to build my.
There you go.
I've just hired somebody to fix that. So,
yeah. But it's good to have a platform that people can get back to. And then you have to have a way that people find you, which I think that's the thing. People think their website is a way that people find them, and it's not. It's
no way.
After people know you, they go there.
Right.
And YouTube used to be like you can get discovered there, but now it's the same thing. Like, once they already know Sam Peters, they then go to YouTube to see if he has something.
Right.
But you still need a way for people to discover you. You need a channel of discovery or a platform of discovery, which for me is a little the podcast, but it's really more me talking to people one-on-one and being referred. It's word of mouth, or it's showing up live to events. Eventually my plan will be like speaking, because people will see me at a conference or something like that. So for a lot of businesses like yours or other local businesses, it'll be like, how do you get out into the community and do performances or demonstrate what you do, or like a pop-up class, or you go and teach it, you teach a guest class at my gym or whatever, like there are ways that parents and teachers and principals are discovering you because you have a place that where you're leveraging someone else's community. You're leveraging someone else's established attention and crowd.
Yeah. And I want to do that. But I was saying this, and maybe this isn't that much. I know this isn't very much, but I look at my videos, the ones that are just like, I just threw it out there, and I go, well, there's, 1,500 eyes or 2,000 or 3,000 eyes that have seen it. That's not nothing. And
Right.
it's just that I'm not pulling them anywhere at this moment. And I haven't advertised it. So
Right.
maybe if I start advertising it, maybe if I actually have somewhere I want to drive them, and maybe if I have a curriculum that I'm proud of and that I can stand behind and go, I know this is good. I'm happy with my covers. The covers are fine. They're fine.
Yeah. Well, that's it. They discover you through that, and then you have to have the product or the cornerstone content to drive them back to. So it's like, okay, yes, this guy Sam, that was great, and then at the end of it, I do this. I teach this 7 week. I teach you how to know jazz ballads in 7 weeks or whatever. Like, cool. If either they'll say not for me, or they'll say for me because you gave them something to follow and say. This is for me or not for me. And yeah, to John's point, you have a CTA. It's something that's like, to learn jazz in 7 weeks, click this button.
Right.
Or if you want to know, if you want a 30-second video on how to pick a guitar faster, like 10 seconds,
right.
2 times faster, click this button, and download the video, and you collect their email, something like that brings them into your information.
My orbit. Yeah.
But so there's like discovery tools, like things that people find you, and then you bring them into your world and collect their information and find a way to recontact them and reintroduce yourself to them in different ways in case they want to use you for something.
Right. Yeah. I feel like, it's so funny. Like when you said that, it makes me kind of, I'm like, it goes so deep. Well, I'm like, man, I just want to put some content on, have a curriculum, and start there. And now you're like, well, you could resource these guys again, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, and I think you got to pick. You pick one thing at a time. That's what I tell people. Marketing is intimidating, because there's so many things you can do. But what you got to figure out is, what are the first couple things that are the most important to move your business right now? Is it develop a curriculum? Maybe.
Yeah. I have to have something to drive them to it. To drive them to.
Right. Well, you already have a product, which is
my lessons.
Your lessons, which are you have a start and an end thing. It's like however many lessons it is for a price. You have a product, so you can start with that and say, okay, right in front of me, what do I do to increase this business? Or if you're happy with where you're at right now, okay, you keep that going and say, I'm either going to increase discovery or I'm going to add extra products on top of this.
Right. So, I think, that's where I'm at. I'm at add extra products. Knock on wood, every year's a new thing, every year's a new adventure, and I don't know when the ship will stop sailing, but there's a lot. It seems like the ocean has kept going for a while. Land after the summer, this semester, people might stop calling me up. But hopefully they don't. I've been very fortunate, and hopefully that'll keep going.
Yeah,
but
so you have something
I do want something more. Yeah.
Right. So you take that half hour a day or whatever that little extra is, and you say, this is dedicated to my next step, which is curriculum development.
Totally.
It's like planned in. I don't cheat on this. This is the one thing. And you build it, and it doesn't have to, you can decide, is it going to be huge, or is it going to be, do you build a smaller thing that you can say, if I just develop 3 things, I can see if this has merit.
Right. As opposed to thinking that I have to develop an entire book of stuff and then find out that I've just spent a year creating something that no one's interested in. I
don't love the idea of developing products without testing the market. So if you, who do you think is going to be your customer? Is it random online people? Usually it's your current customer base. So it's like, okay, out of the current people I work with, would they have been interested in an online curriculum?
Well, the way I was thinking about it is I was going to, like I see all these platforms that are 20 or $30 a month or whatever else. I was going to just basically tell my students like, hey, you're signing up with me. I want you to take my curriculum. I want you to do some of these exercises on your own.
Right.
And the first month is free. You take it off our lesson price. Go join it. And
Right.
so I'll have those 30 people or 20 people, whatever it is, built in, but hopefully they'll ask their friends, and then they'll be,
Yeah.
obvious, and the YouTube community or whatever.
Yeah, I think you have your people, so like whoever they are, your customers or the people that have found your videos, or like for me, it's the Facebook group. I bring people into the Facebook group. So
Right.
like within the community, it's like now you got to validate amongst the people that are actually talking to you, like, hey, what are the things that you're looking for? Like if I do a digital product, what are the kind of things you're interested in? And it could be the format of it that you try to get answered, or like how many things, or
Mm.
the content, like is it this type of content or that type of content. You can start surveying and asking questions, or just having a couple conversations, so that you can figure out like, is there a smaller market I can start with?
Yeah, maybe I should start with the smaller one. It's funny because I've seen someone's curriculum that starts from beginning to advance, and there's like 180 lessons in there. They're all
Right.
like 4 minutes, but there's a lot of content there. There's a lot to pick through. Each one of them has a PDF that goes with it, or whatever, or a backing track. That's quite a lot to start with. Sam and
Right.
Peter's Patreon. Yeah, and that I actually
John,
have joined. No, John's amazing.
he's full of ideas.
Yeah, and actually, I joined Patreon, so I actually have a Patreon page. I've just never put anything on there and asked people. Like, I just set up a profile.
Yeah.
I actually take a couple Patreon lessons, but there are people on Patreon who have a much more low barrier kind of thing. He's right.
Yeah.
That's the way to maybe go too.
And here might be a good kind of pivot point. So the other thing I wanted to talk about today, I know just a couple more minutes left.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was I was at this event called Thrive, and their slogan is "Make Money Matter," and the purpose is that there's for-profit businesses and there are nonprofit businesses, and nonprofits are the ones out there trying to do good, but they have to beg for money, and like get people to support them, and that makes it a lot harder for their impacts to scale. And what was interesting about this is they say, like, that's great. I'd rather you build a for-purpose business. In other words, a business that is for profit, but it is designed fundamentally from scratch to have an impact in society, and not as a marketing ploy, because that's what, after Tom's did it, that's what everyone started to do. It's kind of, they call it like greenwashing. Basically, you're trying to use that as momentum. But for the Tom's example, say they had a $5 cost to produce a shoe, and they sell it for $40, to say that they'll give, for everyone they sell away, they'll give one away to, someone that needs it.
Right.
That's just an extra $5 a cost. And what do? They just raise their price from $40 to $45. They make the same amount of profit. They get to do good in the world. And guess what? They have a message that people latch onto and support.
Right.
Now, if you find the right, like, authentic motivation for yourself as a business, you have purpose and a movement that you start to create, and people sign up for you and that movement, and that business can have so much more impact in the world. So I think that's interesting, because as you start to create and do things, you've been in music for a long time. It's obviously a part of you.
Right.
If you start changing the question to being, what kind of impact do I want to have in the world, whether it's in music or not, you start to design your business differently, which I thought is like a beautiful way to think about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
And it might take you down roads you would have never thought of before. So
Yeah.
and,
What
or,
kind of impact do you want to make in the world? I like that. It's a really great question.
So something to think about too. And I do want to let you go, because I think 1:30 you had a
it's
engagement.
not a hard out. It doesn't have like
just being respectful.
No, I feel that. But I am really enjoying this. I want to take, if it lasts a couple more minutes, that's okay with me. What was you asked me before about
how you got into music.
But you said losses and wins.
Right.
Wins. Can we hear a song, Sam?
Oh
Oh my
not with
God.
Not with the iPhone acoustics. Probably not.
No, that's probably not the best. Yeah, you know what?
You
Oh
can put a link
man,
in. You can put a link in the chat to that one.
I'll do that.
Maybe one of the music videos that like the funnier ones.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you think about Man Oh Man?
That's great.
Yeah, Man Oh Man. Man Oh
Yeah,
Man. Sam Peters music. That's what you check out.
yeah.
That's going to be better.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is I do have a guitar, but setting it all up with this
No, let's.
iPhone thing, yeah, it might be a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
Um, but
We'll have a. We'll let you riff someday.
yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
let me riff one day. But for wins, wins, wins. I never talked about my wins.
what are your wins, brother?
Some of my students are getting really freaking good, man. So, that's a win. Like to see my kids like that are 14 and 15 years old like really starting to, man, they're getting good. That gets exciting. So it's like that's my new crop of kids to that like for the next couple of years will be referring me to their friends and whatever else. So that's a win to see them like really growing. I mean, that's just so fun. So I get to play with people and they're like, good. They're good. I'm playing with good players. And we just jam.
Exactly.
They're just looking for me to give them a little direction. It's super fun.
Well, I
That's
love
it.
that, man.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Dude, appreciate you jumping on today. And if you have ideas that you think might help Sam, throw them into the comments. We appreciate everyone's input and feedback. And John, you're always helping. So thanks for being so helpful
Yeah.
and adding
Thank you,
value.
John. Thank you, John.
John added the link to one of your videos right there. It's a comedy music video. And I'm sure the group will love it. I'll leave it at that. But I appreciate your time today, buddy. I'm gonna X you out here and
All right.
finish off the rest of this. So thanks for your time, man.
Mwah. Thanks, baby. I
Love you.
love you,
Catch you next time.
family. Catch you
See you,
soon.
bud.
Bye.
All right, everyone. That was Sam Peters. Thanks, John, again for all your help. Yeah, if you guys haven't friend requested each other in the group, go ahead and do that. If you ever are interested in something that someone else is doing, feel free to message them directly and introduce yourself. Set up time for a phone call. I love Calendly. It's a link that you can set up your phone number and times that people can contact you, and that way you can just shoot people a link to anytime they want to have a 15-minute phone call. You just shoot them that, and they schedule a time that works with your calendar. So I'd recommend everyone getting that. It's just super useful, especially when you're trying to network a little bit better and don't want to be slowed down because you didn't have time to write the email and find the calendar, and then you just end up skipping it. So anyway, don't want to hold you guys too long today, but if you haven't, again, signed up or you're just curious, make sure to get those applications in as quick as possible. If you, again, try to get it in before Sunday, then you'll get the additional, 3 months free within the mastermind that'll be happening in July. And again, this June group is just 10 people. We do have a couple signups, so I appreciate those of you that have reached out already. It's brandonbrands.com/apply if you haven't already figured that out. And the other thing is, let me see here. Did I miss anything? And if you, as a one-time bonus for June, this is my June offer, I'll include a video tutorial on how to set up your social media profiles for your business for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. That'll just be a video that once you guys start your first class, I'll send that through, and it'll be just a bonus for you guys to have as lessons. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate the time, and thanks for tuning in. And again, if you're watching later, #replay. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being part of the community. Talk soon.